Two teams started the weekend undefeated, but only one would remain so by the end. Who was it? Stick around to find out. This is CAF TV. Hey folks, I'm Alex Bastiavanski. Great show for you today. Tons of highlights. Plus, Toronto-Croatia President Daniel Jaksic will stop by to share his thoughts on the fantastic event that took place a couple of weeks ago at BMO Field, where Metros Croatia was honored by TFC. It's coming up later on, but first, Laika Supergroup highlights into the under-16s we go. And yes, Mississauga United are one of the aforementioned undefeated teams heading into last weekend. Through 9 games, a single tie was their only blemish on the record. Mississauga United's been a blast to watch all season, playing a high-octane, entertaining style without sacrificing their defense in the process, which often isn't the case. And they were facing last place ADP on Saturday, and credit to them, they hung in with Missy the whole way through. And if the ball had bounced their way just a couple of times, the result may have been different. CAF highlights now brought to you by Laika Sports. Laika, your passion, our commitment. ADP faced a tall task this game. They've got just one win on the year so far, and it doesn't start out well for them. Just the second minute, Sean Costa corrals the ball in the box. It will ricochet home, and United goes up by a 1-0 count early. They nearly make it 2. Jacob Fasciano out front. Oops, just can't put it home though. ADP almost hits back in the 10th minute, very nearly an own goal here as it goes off for Sean Walters just wide. And Mark Allen shows off some sweet moves despite getting manhandled by Benjamin DiCarlo. Michael Markach, nice save right there though. Okay, 15th minute, Dante Walks gets dropped inside the box right there, and Walks will step up and take it himself, and yeah, he makes it a formality as he buries it, and United pads its lead, going up by a 2-0 count. Second half, Walks keeps coming off the fast break here. He smokes it past Markach, and Mississauga fully in control as they go up 3-0 through 43 minutes, and then fantastic moves by Walks here. One of the plays of the week. Look at the strength as he fights off the defender, and then he'll hit his streaking teammate out front for the score, and United go up by a big 4 goals. It nearly was 5 if not for the heroics of Markach as he provides the nice stop here, and the ball slides just wide of the net. ADP never stopped fighting, to its credit. Free kick by Arthur Daniels, nicely saved by Nicola Curcia, and then just before full time, Curcia makes not one but 2 huge saves to preserve his shutout on the day. So it was a 4-0 final. United stays undefeated on the season. ADP coach Josh Bill, though, wasn't displeased with his squad's performance as he knew they'd be in tough.
It's difficult. The boys started the game very well. They were moving the ball. We had a game plan. We knew it was going to be an ugly, boring game. You know, we're trying to defend and get players behind the ball and catch the boys on the bounce. But credit to Mississauga United. They had a great performance, great discipline in the team, and it showed in the results for them.
Well, sticking with the under-16s, and on paper anyway, this looked like a serious mismatch. Second place Chantilly taking on 7th place Brampton Elite, who had just a single win to their credits all season in CAF play. But Elite proved once again that on any given day, no team is safe, as they gave the boys from Hamilton an unexpected shock on Saturday. Chantilly hadn't lost since all the way back on June 17th, so they had tons of momentum heading into this one, and they had a good early chance racing down the far side, just wide of the net though. Elite was sharp in the first half. First the shot from well out here on this chance. Watch it take a nasty hop here, but Carson Provenzano gets down to make the nice save. And then some Isaiah Downs give and go with his teammate Provenzano. This is an even bigger save. Nicely done there. And then things get somewhat testy when Christian Coletta ends up colliding with Provenzano right here, and defender Alex Payne says, "Hey, watch it, buddy. Not on my watch." Little testy. Cooler heads would prevail, though. Chantilly's best first half chance comes from King Wedderburn, who gets it past the keeper here, but runs out of real estate and just can't tuck it home. Yikes. Okay, second half now. Absolutely beautiful ball movement from Elite. Great passing, and Hakurat Sangira finishes it off out front. Gorgeous Brampton jumps out to the 1-0 lead through 52 minutes. And then it's Abnav Bekter to Isaiah Downs to the goalpost. Just couldn't put it past. Last gasp for Chantilly to tie the game here. Israel Perrin creates some space, but Luca Rizzardo, save of the game to preserve the win. So Brampton picks up its very first win of the year in CAF play in a fantastic back and forth affair. Chantilly have just a 1-point lead now on Epic in the battle for second place in the under-16s. Welcome back to CAF TV. Well, one more from the under-16s, and aside from Mississauga, Pace FC has been the division's hottest team over the last 2 months. Sure, they lost to United 2 weeks ago, but aside from that, Pace hadn't lost since all the way back on June 18th. On Saturday, they hit the pitch with a squad hot on their heels in the standings, Future, and the two squads produced one of the better games of the year so far. Just 2 points separated these teams heading into Saturday's tilt, and Future starts out strong. 7th minute corner kick. A lot of guys from Future not listed on the game sheet, so sorry in advance. Number 18 puts it just wide. 12th minute, Sam Quattrucci to Robert Kruger. This one ends up flying well wide of the goalpost, though. 31st minute now. Daniel Frizzoni from Pace on the run. He goes down in the box, and yeah, penalty kick, and Frizzoni will go to the spot, but huge save from Anthony Guerreri, and he rightly gets some congrats from his teammates there. And then it's Max Ferrari testing Guerreri from 20 yards out, but he sprawls to make the nice save. Second half, Pace gives us one of the goals of the week. Watch the sweet move from Frizzoni. It's coming up right here, and then he finds Max Ferrari, who slots it home. Sublime goal, and Pace goes up by a 1-0 count through 42 minutes. Future presses. They look for an opening, and they try their luck from 25 yards out, but keeper Zach Vesnever gets down to make the stop. And then Future free kick. In position for a header right out front, but it slides just over top of the crossbar. They keep on coming to Future. The ball rolls to Matthew Kovasi on the far side, but it's the dreaded swing and a miss, and it stays out. Max Ferrari, always so dangerous for Pace. 70th minute, he slides it past Guerreri to give Pace a bit of breathing room, up 2-0. Future manages to get one back in the 78th minute right here, but it proved to be just a bit too little, too late, as Pace doubles up Future by a 2-1 count. So they lead Future by 5 points now. Sora Kanea felt his squad could have played better, but they're happy to escape with the 3 points.
Today we didn't play our best game, but we did get the result, which was important. And hopefully next time we can play our game instead of their game and do what we can do to get the win.
Okay, to the open group we head now, and Toronto, Croatia was the other undefeated team I mentioned off the top of the show. The Croats have been lights out this year, scoring 25 goals while conceding just 11 through 9 games. Saturday they faced off against old school rivals Brampton, who finally put a dent in Croatia's record. Croatia, Brampton, old school rivals going back to their Canadian Soccer League days, and City draw first blood. Ezekiel Vidal from 20 yards out. Oh, that's nice. Looks like he caught the keeper off guard, but it's a great shot anyway. 1-0 United. And then Adrian Becic does redeem himself soon after as Brampton presses. And look at the build-up by Brampton here. We'll watch Becic out front as he comes up with the monster save right there. And then manages to corral the rebound as well. Great goalkeeping. Golden chance for Croatia at the 27-minute mark as it's sent in for Christian Seiko, but he just can't tuck it in, and off the side of the net it goes. The Croats think they've drawn even off this play here, as Nicolas Atuesta is going to end up knocking the ball home. Alas, the flag goes up, offside, no goal. Second half of play, and this would come back to haunt Croatia. Becic passes to his defender, who passes it right back into the open net. Ouch. Becic. Not happy, as you can imagine. Brampton doesn't care, though. It's in. That's all that matters. 2-0. Croatia finally does get one back, though. Adrian Peric sticks with it here. This is not a pretty goal by any stretch, but ultimately Dennis Porch will smack it home right there. And Toronto has life. They cut the lead in half to 2-1. Brampton trying to get the 2-goal bulge back. Jonathan Singh bides his time, beats Becic, but can't beat the goalie's best friend. Wouldn't matter, though, as Brampton holds on to win 2-1 and give Croatia their very first loss of the season in CAF play. And City moves into sole possession of third place in the under-16 standings.
Let's play.
I think it's 31. Yeah.
And relax there. Okay, guys. Good.
What number?
Everyone will lose it one way or another, right? But guys, when we lose it, give us 100%, the hard work to get it back, okay? That's what we want to see. If you lose it, put in the effort to get it back, okay?
Welcome back to CAF TV. Joined in the studio by a special guest. This would be the new president of Toronto, Croatia, Daniel Jaksic, who I want to thank because he screamed home from work, showered, shaved, and got himself all the way back down to the studio just to join me. Thanks for being here, buddy.
Thank you very much. Buddy.
Absolutely. And we're here because we're going to talk a bit more about the event that took place at BMO Field, honoring Toronto Metro's Croatia. And Phil and I talked a bit about it last week, but I mean, this was such a huge deal for the Croatian community. And the president of Toronto, Croatia, I figured it was the guy to talk to about this. So let's start with that. So it was August 27th at BMO Field, and Toronto Metro's Croatia were honored for their 40th anniversary of winning the soccer bowl. But before we do that, it wasn't even just that night, though. There was a big lead up to this with a bunch of stuff that was going on. And just tell us about what some of that stuff was.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at it, the overall experience of this, and I was in contact with Christina Fercek from TFC, where they wanted to do a heritage night for us as well. And it was actually even nicer when Bill Manning had sent me an email that they were doing a dinner honor the Metro's team on the Friday night previous to the Saturday night, and I had a chance to go up there. I was invited, and it was actually nice. They had a nice presentation from TFC. You had whoever was there from the '76 team. They had flight in Grnja in from Croatia, Cukan as well. To sit there and to see and the way they talked and the presentation, how they did, to see the old trophy, to see the old Grnja shirt. And transformed.
Which he was wearing when he came out there, which was great, yeah.
And it transformed later into the Blizzard as it went on. Of course. And just to get the whole history of what it was, again, goosebumps now when I talk about it. And my wife.
And you and I weren't. I was going to point this out. Him and I think I was alive. Were you alive?
I was a year old.
Okay, I was a year and a half. We were youngsters, so this obviously didn't register with us back in '76. We're really dating ourselves here, but so it's great to hear it from those that experienced it. Never mind the players, but also the fans and the community and stuff like that who really experienced this. And so that was my next question for you. Just it's so tough to put into words, I know, but your sense of what it meant to the Croatian community, this win back in '76.
Well, it's something big when you look back in '76. A lot of the people from Croatia, anywhere from Europe, the baby boomers came to Canada, and they love soccer. I even speaking to my father about certain things. As soon as I got off the plane, we always saw, okay, where's the Croatian team? We hear about, so they would follow all the teams that are around here, right? And to see and to experience, to see the love of the game. The Croatians are very passionate about their game, and I remember even Joe had mentioned at the last meeting,
Right.
they're very passionate. And to follow a name, I mean, Toronto Croatia has been around now, it's celebrating its 60th anniversary as well.
Of course.
And you have some really good players there, and just to be part of that where, we were little kids, majority weren't even born, but to see and to read, my kids as well, when they saw the stuff that I brought home, they're like, this is something else, to be part of something like
your
that.
son was sitting there with you. I saw that, and he was taking it all in.
Oh, he was amazed.
He was amazed by it. Yeah, it's great. We're running out of time here, but I'll just say it was amazing seeing the reaction coming out on the field. I mentioned this to Phil last week as well. Amazing job by TFC. I was so impressed as well by the TFC fans. Most of them, a lot of them anyway, not born in '76, who stayed in their seats and actually, the reaction they gave to the team was absolutely incredible. We're going to move on to just a couple of other things real quick. Aside to say it was absolutely incredible that night. Yes. We saw the highlights. You guys suffered your first loss in CAF action on Saturday. But aside from that, I know he doesn't really want to talk about that game because he's not happy with the way it went. But aside from that, is it safe to say you're happy with the way things have gone in your first year in the Open Group, Toronto, Croatia?
Yes, it is. I mean, stepping in as the new president, in Toronto, Croatia, being in the Canadian Soccer League, felt that we had to maybe step back a little bit and
take a different avenue,
and gear everything towards, how would I say it, the youth generation here. I mean, it's nice when they bring the international players in to watch them play soccer is great. Don't get me wrong, but we have to emphasize a lot of stuff on the players here.
More local guys this year.
Yes, I mean, doors open to everybody. And I say like the youngest players we have are 15 years old, two twins. We monitor every training, what they do. From when they started to now, they learn from the older players. A lot of our guys are 18 to 19. We do have a few veteran players, internationals that are helping out. I can't say nothing better than my coach Josip Kiran, who's doing a great job. It's unbelievable what he's taken this team to today. And that's what one of the things we wanted to do was have those kind of players like a Pedro Manolo, who's you see in the highlights, scoring goals all over the place. Even Domagoj Zubac.
Absolutely.
These are the guys that are working with these young guys and trying to see where they have to be a player. You know what I mean? That's what we focus on.
And Josip Karan in his own right, of course, a guy I remember very well from his days back in the CSL, a Toronto Croatia legend over the last few years. Excellent player. Got about 30 seconds.
Sure.
You wanted to touch on very quickly the fact if people want to go to torontocroatia.com, find out more about the academies that are going to be starting for young kids. We're pretty much out of time now, but that's where they can go because Toronto, Croatia will be starting kids academies to have the whole pyramid all the way up over the next few years. We're out of time. What goes so fast as usual. Thanks so much, buddy. Appreciate it. Congratulations on what was a great event. Okay.
Thank you very much, Alex.
Okay. More CAF TV coming up in just a moment. Welcome back to CAF TV. So whatever Toronto Atomic has been snacking on over the last month, I want in on it. Atomic started the season on a real low, not picking up their first win until July 17th. Since then, though, they've been lights out, running the table over their last 5 games. That's vaulted Toronto into second place overall, and they continue to roll Saturday against BSC. With a win here, Atomic could move into a tie for first with Croatia. Unthinkable just a month ago. A BSC gets the first good chance. Camilo Velosa strikes it from 18 yards out. Easily handled by the Atomic keeper, though. Quick ball movement here by Atomic. So quick that our videographer couldn't catch up, unfortunately. Not even sure who got it. Apparently it was a heck of a shot from 15 yards out, though. And it's 1-0 for Toronto Atomic. BSC knots it up, though. It's Velosa exacting his revenge this time as he blasts it home. And it's all knotted up at 1 apiece. And then sweet ball movement by Atomic here again as they weave in and out of BSC. Dario Brezak ultimately will collect the ball, get a nice little deflection here as well. And in it goes. Toronto back on top by a 2-1 count. Once again, though, BSC bounces right back. Maxime Dorneval saunters in, tucks it into the far corner, and BSC evens it up again. It is a 2-1 game. How Atomic doesn't score here is anyone's guess. It's right there, served up on a silver platter. They just can't tuck the ball home, though. Ouch. Second half now, another great atomic chance as they let fly from well out here. Fantastic stop, though, by the BSC keeper. In the 60th minute, they do break through. Brezak collects the long ball from the keeper. He will slot it home, and that was all she wrote in this one as Atomic holds on for the 3-2 win. What a turn of events for them. After losing their first 5 games of the season, they've now won 6 straight, and they sit in a tie for first with Toronto, Croatia. Okay, one more game to cover in the open group. It's Epic against Supernova. Epic draw, first blood, free kick from 22 yards, and it goes right through the wall. Keeper's going to love that one. David Alva with the marker, and it's 1-0 for Epic. Supernova on the attack. They hammer it from 25 yards. Michael Kulas with the sprawling save, though. Second half now, wonderful ball movement by Epic. Justin Paulo ends up with the breakaway, but he floats it agonizingly wide of the post. 84th minute now, Jason Gonsalves gets an absolute gift as the keeper gets caught way out of position. Into the open cage it goes, and Epic pads its lead to 2-0 late in the second, and they nearly add one more to finish it off in style. Just a bit too far out of the reach, though, of Gonsalves right there. Regardless, Epic nabs the 3 points. After starting the season like a house of fire, Supernova have now lost 3 straight contests, so they need to right that ship in a hurry. Okay, let's take a look at the league table and where all the teams currently sit. Under 14, ADP with a 3-point bulge over Epic, followed by London Elite. Bree and Chantilly tied with 9, and Brampton Elite and Toronto International tied with 3 points apiece. To the under 16s, Mississauga United with a comfortable bulge over Chantilly in second, and then it's Epic, Dragon Force, Pace, Future, ADP, and Elite on the bottom, but they did pick up their first win of the season so far. Into the open group, Croatia now in a tie with Toronto Atomic, although Croatia does have 2 games in hand, followed by Brampton, Epic, Supernova on a bit of a slide right now, and BSC in last with 6 points on the season so far. And the CAF countdown, our top 5 plays of the last week. Number 5, Futures Anthony Guerreri off the penalty kick. Larceny on Daniel Frazzoni at pace. And then he rightly gets some props from his boys afterwards. Number 4, Brampton's Ezekiel Vidal from 20 yards out. I don't think anyone was expecting that kick, especially not the Croatia keeper. Beautiful shot, part of Brampton's big 2-1 win. Number 3, Pace FC's Daniel Frazzoni with the sublime little feed here for Max Ferrari, who makes a great move himself and slots it home. One of 2 goals for Max on the day, and that was the nicest of them all. Number 2, a true team effort here by Brampton Elite. Everyone gets involved, and ultimately it's Hakurit Sangura finishing it off, and that proved to be the game winner and a huge Elite win over Chantilly. And number 1, watch Dante Walks just go to work here. The strength there, the sweet little move here, and then the beautiful feed for his teammate out front. Great work. And that is our CAF play of the week.
And that is it for this week. Just remember, though, you can always keep up on all things with the league. CAFsoccer.com is the website, at CAF_football on Twitter, and Canadian Academy of Football on Facebook. Thanks so much for watching, folks. See you next week.